Listen, you can say what you want about being up 2 scores, and this one's going to haunt me.
Mayfield throws the ball downfield. Picked off. It's intercepted. The first takeaway by the Falcons.
They're throwing for the end zone. It's Pitts. Did he hold on? Touchdown, Atlanta.
It was inexcusable, and there's no answer for it.
So Atlanta with a chance to win this. Kick by Gonzalez. It is good. Atlanta wins.
To win the division, we have to win out. That's as plain and simple as it is.
First Take is presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Yep, Baker Mayfield keeping it real after an L last night. Hello, everyone. Welcome to First Take. Shay Cornett here with you. Stephen A. back in the building.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
My brother, looking sharp.
What am I, guy?
If I should say so myself.
Looking real presidential.
I approve that message. Where's my man at, Cam? What up, baby?
Cam Newton's in Florida. Good morning, Cam.
How we doing?
We're doing great, buddy.
Cam's backdrop is glorious.
I know, isn't it?
Where's that? That's a nice backdrop.
He's in Orlando.
Okay.
Hey, listen, I be looking up to Stephen A. so much. I was like, man, he be making Miami sound so good, so I had to go to the next best thing in Orlando. So, you know what I'm saying? I know y'all cold over there, but, it's a little
really
right
cold,
where I'm
actually.
at. You feel me?
You got us today, but I will just avoid the culture. Orlando ain't better than Miami.
Okay.
Let's get that out.
You said second best.
Okay, great.
In Florida, right?
Come on, bro.
Speaking of Florida, let's go to Tampa Bay, right? The Bucs were up 14 points in the fourth quarter last night against the Falcons at Raymond James Stadium and then collapsed, losing to Atlanta on a walk-off field goal. Kirk Cousins, Kirk Cousins against the Bucs is really something. He went to work last night, threw for 373 yards, 3 touchdowns. Kyle Pitts was really good as well, 166 yards and 3 TDs, handing the Bucs their 5th loss now in 6 games. In game, they had to have at home. Head coach Todd Bowles, none too pleased post game.
It's inexcusable. You don't make excuses. You gotta care enough where the hurts. You gotta care enough where the hurts. It gotta mean something to you. It's more than a job. It's your livelihood. How well do you know your job? How well can you do your job? Well, you can't sugarcoat that. It was inexcusable, and there's no answer for it. There's no excuse for it. That's what you tell them in the locker room. Look in the mirror.
All right. I said he was none too pleased, and that might have been sugarcoating even a little bit. We'll get to the division in a minute, but let's focus in on the Bucs here last night, and obviously that post-game presser from Todd Bowles. We are not accustomed to hearing this soft-spoken, usually when a microphone is in front of him, Todd Bowles, have that many beeps on air. So, Stephen A., your reaction to Todd Bowles' press conference last night?
I was somewhat shocked. I've known Todd Bowles for years, ever since he was with the New York Jets. Got a lot of love for him. I've never heard him speak like that in my life.
Ever.
He does not talk like that. That's not him. And it just really, really illuminates the level of disgust he feels with his own team. You are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You're the Falcons, rather. And you're facing a 3rd and 28 on your final drive. And what do? You complete passes of 14 yards to Kyle Pitts Sr., who just shredded them all night long for 166 yards. And then on a 4th and 14 to David Sills. How do you let that happen? A Tampa Bay defense, a Todd Bowles defense. This is where he hangs his hat on defense. And so when you see something like that happening, it gives you an incredible reason to feel alarmed. If you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they are not what they used to be. They are not what they were expected to be. They are nose diving before our very eyes, and they're actually very lucky to still be in control of their own destiny, because the team that they're competing with is a team they go against 2 times in the last 4 weeks of the season, RC.
Yeah, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are imploding, and Todd Bowles feels the pressure. Todd Bowles don't talk like that. No. Talking about a man with a mild-mannered demeanor that even when upset, even when correcting players, is respectful, is soft-spoken, is someone who approaches things in a very measured manner. When you're a defensive specialist, when your calling card is defense, and you're not only the head coach, but you're the play caller on the defensive side, and this Kirk Cousins, y'all.
Yeah.
Right? This is the same Kirk Cousins who was benched last year.
That's right.
The same Kirk Cousins who went through this entire offseason and couldn't garner enough in assets in the trade market to be traded off of a team.
All after signing for $100 million.
To be traded off of a team in his second year. And to now have him go for 373, Bijan Robinson, 175 yards. You already mentioned what Kyle Pitts was able to do. And for Sills Jr., to be the guy to make the big catch on 4th down, this is inexcusable. This is a 6-2 team that started this season. They're 1-5 in their last 6, and your last 2 losses are to the Saints, nothing to play for. The Falcons, nothing to play for at home in Tampa. Inexcusable, exactly like Todd Bowles said.
Exactly, when you have a lead in the fourth quarter, too. Go ahead, Cam Newton.
I'll say this. I mean, this is basically Todd Bowles saying the pressure is being turned up around him, up under him, and he understands the sense of urgency that he has to coach with as well as his team has to play with. I mean, it's evident. You mentioned the 3rd and 28, but also I'll have you reminded about this fact. This was the first time all year that you had Emeka in Juba, you had Chris Godwin, and then you had Mike Evans as well. These guys were supposed to give you the boost that you was in dire need of searching for all season. And Todd Bowles knows that. He knows that, we were supposed to be the favorite to win the NFC South. If we find a way to squander this opportunity, it's not going to be good for his coaching stability. So therefore, when you have these type of outcries or outpours, these are the reasons why. And it's no reason why, he has turned to that version of himself because of the frustration.
Falcons overcame 19 penalties.
Yes.
For 125 yards. On top of what Bijan Robinson did, on top of what Kirk Cousins did, you did penalize yourself 19 penalties for 125 yards, and you still win this game on the road with a 14-point deficit in the fourth quarter. It's moments like that when a coach loses his job. And I hate that we're talking about Todd Bowles in that fashion, because the way he sounded with the players, like, look in the mirror and understand this ain't your job, this is your livelihood. This is how you pay your bills. Have some more pride, et cetera, et cetera. Those are direct shots. So even outside of the cussing, outside of the profanity, the kind of things that he said was an attack against their manhood, which means they're showing they ain't being the men they supposed to be as professionals, because Todd Bowles would never, ever talk about them like that. He would never do that unless it was warranted.
Have now spilled over into the media, and that's what happens when you lose 5 of 6. Remember, Stephen A., Shay, Cam, we were talking about Baker Mayfield winning the league's MVP through the first half of the season. Now there are no longer those discussions because his team can't finish football games.
The Buccaneers also have a Kirk Cousins problem. They do not know how to slow that man down. I am sorry. Their last 3 games, Kirk Cousins against the Buccaneers, he has like 1,200 yards. He's undefeated, 11 touchdowns, 1 interception. They have no idea how to slow Kirk Cousins down. That in itself is an issue if you have to face him more than one time a year. 44-year-old Phillip Rivers is back in uniform after nearly 5 years of retirement. The Colts signed him to their practice squad this week after Daniel Jones tore his Achilles and put them in an absolutely desperate situation. Although Rivers has yet to be activated, he's trending to be the starter for the Colts against the Seahawks on Sunday. So, according to DraftKings Sportsbook, Rivers has shorter odds to record an interception than a passing touchdown. I don't know if that's all that surprising, but nonetheless. But with Rivers' return to the field, he now has the 3rd shortest odds to win comeback player of the year. So that's a fun story. But let's talk about the start that he's going to have against the Seattle Seahawks here. Is it fair or foul? As a reminder, Riley Leonard did practice in full this week, so he seemingly is healthy enough to go. Fair or foul to have Phillip Rivers as your starting quarterback this weekend against the Seahawks? Go ahead, Stephen A. What do you think?
I think it's foul. I think it's foul. I'm worried about the welfare of Phillip Rivers. I'm not playing. Everybody think about, can the Colts win with him? I'm thinking, can you get out alive Sunday? Seriously, I'm very worried about this brother, Cam. I'm dead serious. And I don't understand for the why. I'm like, you gonna call somebody that's 44 years old? I mean, how come you didn't call Cam Newton? I mean, why you didn't call him? I'd be less worried about you. I'd be less worried about you physically.
I said that Monday.
I'd be very less worried about you. And this is no knock. I'm dead serious. I'm not even thinking about whether or not Phillip Rivers can throw the ball. I know he's been retired for 5 years. I get it. But I'm thinking about a father of 10 who is a grandpa, who is 44 years old and hasn't played in 5 years. And the very first time you step on a football field is against that defense in Seattle? Listen, these brothers are ferocious anyway on their own. But I ask, and I'll just say this because People need to hear from RC. They need to hear from Cam on this. I'm asking, isn't there a difference between somebody just being on the field and you going after them and you feeling insulted? Because how dare y'all think that you can grab this brother at 44 years of age that ain't played in 5 years, and your first time playing, you gonna put him against us? No preseason, no training camp, none of that, no OTAs, nothing. You gonna get him, he was coaching high school football last week. He ain't been playing. You gonna put him against us? And I'm going like this. Look, man, you ain't got to play football to understand what I'm saying. I'm talking about Seattle. I'm saying those men are looking at it. Oh, so that's what y'all gonna do. You think you gonna put this brother on the field? Because even if they don't sack him, RC, Cam, how much wood they gonna put on him? Yep. How much hat's gonna touch him? They gonna touch him all afternoon long. He can try to get rid of that football in 2 seconds if he want to. They coming for him, Shay. They coming for him because it's insulting. Am I wrong?
No. Cam, agree or disagree with Stephen A?
I disagree. And I know the popular pick was to say, well, why didn't you come get me? Well, why didn't you hit my agent up? No, I'm not going to go that route. You don't make a desperation acquiring, athlete just to have him sit behind and sit back. Now, there has been history, in the philosophical world for Phillip Rivers. So it's not too much to ask. I guess what Shane Steichen and Jim Bob Cooter, the offensive coordinator, is basically saying is, hey, we just need you competent to go not win the game, but just don't lose the game. And we've heard that time and time and time again. I think they're going to play behind their defense. They're also going to play behind, an MVP candidate in Jonathan Taylor. You have the bones, so to speak, to really compete for a Super Bowl contention. We don't need our quarterback to go out and throw for 300-plus yards. We just don't need our quarterback to go out and throw 3 interceptions. And I think Phillip Rivers is capable of doing that. Now, for the Indianapolis Colts, there's so much to kind of unpack here because, number one, you see a guy like Aaron Rodgers, who is 41, and he had a game a couple weeks ago where he looks like the guy from the Allstate commercial with the strip over his nose bleeds and things like that. And you see guys like Tom Brady who plays at an elite level, in his 40s. But this is not necessarily the case. I don't see, the Indianapolis Colts asking Phillip Rivers to throw more than 20 to 25 times a game, especially early on. And if he's able to do that, protecting the football, then the Indianapolis Colts have an opportunity to make a run and still have everything in their sights forward for this season.
I think Shane Steichen is an offensive genius. I truly do. I think the way that Shane Steichen has manipulated this offense with Daniel Jones at the quarterback position this year has been absolutely phenomenal. I believe this is foul, as the question asked. I believe this is incompetent, and I also believe it is irresponsible. This is not Michael Jordan coming back to play basketball after 3 years off for the Washington Wizards. This is a man in Phillip Rivers who was always a stationary target, taking 5 years off to coach high school football and then come back to play against the Seattle Seahawks.
We've been raving about the Seattle Seahawks defense all year long. They are number 2 in points allowed. They are 6th in yards allowed. They are 4th against the rush, about 11th against the pass. They hunt you, though. We all know this. And I'm looking at them right now, and I'm saying to myself, they got a home game. It's bad enough you going against Seattle. You on the road. This is in Seattle. Cam, you know something about playing in Seattle? You know something about playing in Seattle? That crowd?
Can't hear nothing.
Oh, my Lord. I'm like, and he's a stationary target. And he's an old man in football parlance. And they're like, yo. And I mean, it's so bad, it might be Ali Holmes when Holmes was beating him up and Holmes cried because he had to, he was begging them to stop this, because I don't want to do what I'm going to have to do. That's going to be the Seattle Seahawks Sunday. Every time he's on the ground, it's almost going to be like they're going to look at him like, stay down, bro. Stay down, because we coming again. We coming again. I'm just see.
He's so tough.
He's tough. Nobody's questioning his toughness or anything like that. He's tough, right? But Cam, here's what I'm saying to you, bro. Everybody ain't you. Everybody ain't you.
Yeah.
They can put you on the field right now. Okay, listen. Let me tell you something right now. Whether you're effective or not, it's no doubt you can absorb a level of. It's not beyond the realm of comprehension that
He's a little more intimidating.
Can absorb a level of punishment that most humans can't. These brothers are coming for him. I'm very, very scared for him.
I stepped down off of Suburban the other night in the Uber, and I was scared about my knees.
So
Listen,
there we go.
if it goes,
I'll say this real quick.
Go ahead, Cam. Yeah.
Real quick. You don't bring a guy like Phillip Rivers on your roster if you don't have no intent to have him start eventually. It may be a lot this week because it's the first week getting back into the groove of things, but eventually over these last 3 to 4 games of the season, they're pushing him towards saying, hey, we've lost our quarterback for the rest of the year. We're going to need somebody to come in. So if it's not necessarily this year, I believe, Shane Steichen has a plan in place to say, hey, if it's not this year, may not be the next week, but we're going to give the reins to a Phillip Rivers moving forward.